Both these guys had great first acts. Now they have a podcast for second act. Peanut Tillman joins us. So does Roman Harper. Guys, how did you guys decide to put this together?
Well, Peanut asked me, and I have a really hard time saying no to friends. And I was like, I'm not that busy, so let's do it, bro.
No, I got approached with – oh, that's loud. Let me move that mic away a little bit. I got approached by, a couple of people in the NFL, and I think probably one of the toughest transitions for NFL players is trying to figure out what you want to do after you're done playing. So they asked me and Rome if I needed a partner to do it with, and I was like, absolutely, he's my first pick. And, just we're trying to tell stories or trying to let players when they retire just tell their story about how they transition, what they went through, good or bad, and what they're doing, post-football career.
And we all have to figure it out, too. And we do it all differently.
Yeah.
Doug, for me, I took 365 days, did absolutely nothing when I was done. Then I was like, all right.
Well, so how long did you play in the league?
11 years.
Okay, so you get down to 11 years. You played a long time, had a lot of success. Were you done before your last year? Were you like
I knew this was my last year.
Okay.
I was ready to be done after 10.
Right.
But we lost in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I was like, that can't be the last
Gotta do
taste
one more.
of what football is. Yeah, so I need to do one
So
more.
what was that last year like when you knew it was your last year?
Dude, I was just pretty much coaching. I was just, after the game, the funniest story ever is, I'm after the game. And I know more of the coaches than I do the players because all the players are new. And I knew the coaches from like 10 years ago when I got drafted in New Orleans. And after the game, I sit in the locker room. I have a beer with the coaches, just talk about the game plan, where we messed up at, what we stunk at.
Oh, yeah. It's a wrap.
At that point, it's like.
You player coach.
Yeah, I'm player coaching. And it was good, though. I made a couple tackles and played when I needed to play, but I was mostly just, Bill Russell.
So you wake up after you know it's over. Okay. Did you in your mind know I want to take a year, or what was actually in your mind of how you wanted to proceed?
I did. I wanted to take some time to decompress because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. I never thought I'd be in the media space. I didn't want to coach. My dad was a coach. I wanted to see my kids grow up, and I needed a break from football. Football that controlled my emotions. You're angry when you lose. You're tired. You're beat up. It had controlled so much of my life since the fourth grade. I'm 8. Started playing when I was however you're old, and 10, 11, 12, and then you retired 34. There's 20-some years of your life. Every August, you know exactly where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And every single week, you know exactly where this is going to be. And so I needed just to get away. It was the best thing for me. I did a lot of things. I hung out with my wife a lot, and then that got old, and now I got a job. So it's good.
What about you, Peanut? Now, you're a little different because I think everybody knew you were going to do media.
Yeah. So I think I did get into the media. I started working with Fox Sports. The one thing that I wish I would have did differently, I wish I would have taken a little bit more time, like Rome. Maybe not a year, maybe 6 months, 3 months. I just kind of got right into it. But yeah, no. Working for Fox Sports, it was great, good time. Great people, Carissa Thompson, like the crew, the staff, like it was fun. And having been out of that and then getting back into this, I'm in a good space to do the media and talk to the former players and just trying to really put them down, let their name get out, and just like we did Thomas Q. Jones, and he just talked about how acting, that was his second act, and he loves it, and he's producing, he's directing, he's writing, and it really goes to show too. We're not just football players. Like we can do other things instead of just hit people and tackle and throw and catch footballs. Like what I'm saying, there's an intellect out there that we're tapping into, and we're trying to show and tell that story and show other people.
One of the coolest things about Thomas Q. Jones too is that even though he's made all this money, he's a successful running back, and he's done all these things, has this great crib in Miami, and everybody, when he goes to L.A. and he's in acting, he rents an apartment. He doesn't drive a car. He tries to be exactly like all the other struggling actors out there, so they don't know who he is. That's why he put a Q in the middle of his name, and he wants to struggle to be a part of the hustle at the end of the day too. So the football aspects and the training and the kind of weird things that all these guys have done over the years and that's made them part of their careers, they actually in the second act, it just sets them up to be better for what they're doing now.
Most definitely.
Now, how many guys do you get on a daily basis hit you up for, hey, man, I got a podcast idea. You want to do like podcast? Because they know yours is good.
I haven't got any.
Really?
I haven't gotten any.
Everybody already has their own podcast. Literally everybody has their own podcast.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, I've gone on a couple of podcasts, former teammates. I've gone on their podcast, but no one's like, hey, man, look, I need you to come on with a podcast. I think myself, Jerry Azuma, and Spice Adams, Anthony Adams, we joked about coming up with a podcast and just like the three of us coming on, creating one, talking about. But I think it was just, we drinking wine one night, having a beer, and we just kind of
that's
joking
their
about
hangout
it.
crew in Chicago. That's the travel crew. Those three are always together. The couples, they're always together. They always partying together. It's a whole vibe. And
I don't think we took it serious though. It was just like you smoking a cigar, like, yeah, what do you?
We try that. We totally.
Yeah,
we totally do that.
We're not serious at all. It was just locker room talk in the moment.
I feel like the hardest thing has to be for you guys that even though you guys are bright, educated, balanced dudes with families, like inside, if I cut you open, your guys are crazy competitors.
Oh
right?
yeah, most definitely.
Crazy competitors, and you can't turn that off. But the rest of the world isn't wired like that.
No,
we're trying primarily. What are we doing? Hey man, what you think about that? Like, I'm always looking like.
No, you're trying to get better,
exactly.
right?
Hey, what sucks? It's like, oh, man, I screwed that first interview up. I came in with that one question. I can't do that. Like, I mean, granted or not, media is secondary to us. We're getting better at it. Yeah. I'm not as good as Rome. I think Rome is like the black damn Barbara Walters. That's what I call him. You know what I'm saying? He's good at it, and I'm trying to get on his level. Like, he is my compass as far as, like, I'm trying to be like him.
The male Barbara Walters, too.
I did, yeah.
But he's black.
The black male Barbara Walters.
There you go.
Excuse me.
I'm glad you corrected him on that.
But as long as he identifies as a male.
He does, yeah. He still does. I do. But I'm trying to be like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's for what he does at SEC Network. Like, damn. Rome is good. I got to set my game up. I got to get better. So, like, I'm in competition to him. I'm trying to crush him because he crushed me right now. But that competitive side doesn't go away.
Okay, so then the other part to it is, and this specifically speaks to you, but you've done it as well, is you're trying to explain football to people that really don't understand football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but you're trying to teach them things. And the way I try and say with basketball is, like, you try and teach without lecturing.
Yeah.
I know, but on the other hand, like, you're literally explaining something to what that. And the worst thing about football is basketball's a little bit this way, but every dude thinks they know football. It's like, man, I played football in high school. I know what you're talking about. Like, no.
Well, so
it depends on your audience, too.
Have you played? Yeah, it does depend on your audience, right? Like, SEC Network's much more specific, to that league, and you have to step it up. But on the other hand, like, have they been in the defensive backfield and watched everything and know, they just, there's no possible way of knowing.
No, I speak a different language than a lot of people I'm on
civilians.
TV with. Yes, especially civilians.
Yes.
But there is one way to describe and explain and be able to talk on their level, but then also elevate them too, because I want them to understand what I see, because I see the game completely different. I'll tell you a great story. And so my neighbor always asks me questions about football.
Neighbor's name?
His name's Kermit.
Okay, Kermit.
All right? And I told Kermit, I said, Kermit, look, I said, I don't actually watch the ball when I watch football. He was like, what? What do you mean you don't watch the ball? I'm like, I watch everything else around it, and it takes me to the ball because I know what I'm looking at. Like when somebody motions or they get a cut split, like every time the offense breaks the huddle, they're trying to tell you a story. You just got to learn how to read the book. They're telling you things all over the place.
Yep.
This split, this motion, this big shift, that's all trying to set up to tell you this. When the running back's child or cheated out wide, which is outside the tackle box, that means he's getting out. He's free releasing to get hot into the route. So now we can clear out the backer. He can maybe throw a hot route to the tight end, like all these little things. But you got to be able to see it. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think I over-talked right there. It's a lot of intricate details that go into playing defense.
It's like a beautiful mind.
It is. It is.
A beautiful mind. Yeah.
But people don't realize that, though. You get the same thing. Like, it's like, Pina, you look at games. I was like, yeah, I don't look at it like y'all. Like, I don't even like the tight copy. I love a wide copy so I can see all 22.
It's like in basketball, I like the slash cam, which that's at the angle. Then you can see everything. You can see all the movement, everything. Obviously, not as intricate as the 20, all 22.
Yeah, well, sometimes in basketball, I mean, if that dude's that dude, you have no answer for that. That's the difference.
Yes,
with
but there's a little bit more to it than that.
Oh, I do agree with that.
Right?
Yes.
There's a little bit like they got the switch, they got it at this angle. The spacing is just so he gets there. Again, not as intricate as his football. Last thing, you guys both defensive dudes. How do you stop the Eagles' offense with how well they run the ball? And it's kind of like those college offense. When they get that first down, they just kind of start getting you pedaling back down. They're going downhill on you.
Yeah.
And they score early. It seems like teams adjust to it.
Yeah.
The second time they've seen it, or in the third and fourth quarter, but that first quarter they jump on you.
Yeah.
How do you prep for that?
I would say, from a defensive standpoint, linebacker and secondary, Jalen Hurts, he's mobile. When he had 14 rushing touchdowns this year or something like that, he led all quarterbacks quarterbacks and touchdowns. What's good about him is once he gets outside that tackle box, those DBs/linebackers, they need to reroute the receivers, meaning once you get 5 yards, you're not allowed to hit the receiver. Okay, when the quarterback gets outside that tackle box, it's like a reset button. I can hit the receiver.
This is a skill that Peanut mastered.
I would hit him. Hit him.
And it's not a penalty.
And it's not a penalty. You can push him in the back. You can push him down, push him out of bounds.
The moment they back, I saw him do it. I was like, how did you get away with it?
That's how you – and they're not going to see it coming. You will get them
like
off
the offensive
guard.
lineman when the defensive guy falls down, they just fall on him.
Yes, same exact thing.
Not holding.
Literally same exact thing. Reroute them when they're not looking. That's what kills me about Patrick Mahomes. He's always outside the tackle box. Just push him out of bounds or push him down. They're not going to realize it.
They push him out of bounds just a second too late, and that's why the Bengals aren't here.
And they're just going to be like, no, I don't even push him out of bounds. Just hit him.
Yeah.
Just hit him in bounds. They don't see it. That's, in my opinion, that's how they win.
The podcast is called Second Acts Podcast. Peanut, Tillman, Roman Harper, two great players, great dudes, really kind of next-level discussion with former NFL players on what their second acts are. You can download it on the iHeartRadio app, same place you download my podcast. Men, it's an absolute pleasure. He does look better than you.
He does. I told you that today. I was like, damn, you're killing me right now. I thought we were just like real casual, low-key, you know what I'm saying?
My wife got him in town. She got on to me.
Well, why didn't you call me? You saw me this morning at breakfast. Why didn't you tell me to change?